mums, welcome back to my channel. I've already given you guys a couple of updates this week about me being hospitalized and my uterine contractions and all of that. But as per usual, I do a new update every single Monday, and today I'm going to be focusing on something completely different. I'll be talking to you about the results from my growth scan for this baby and also how much weight I have gained and any other symptoms that I'm having outside of the irritable uterus. If you're not up to date with my channel, I'm going to leave a link down below to the two videos that I did upload during the week, which was while I was in hospital, what was happening, and also an update of how they're managing all the issues that happened with that. 2 weeks ago we had our second last growth scan. I've been having them a couple of times, and these are going to help decide on if I'm having a VBAC or if I'm having another C-section depending on baby's size. It's also looking for if I have low fluid. Thankfully, my fluid at this stage is still perfectly fine. For some reason, it is like spot on compared to with Hunter, where I had significantly low fluid, so that is an absolute blessing. This baby is measuring in the 70th percentile, so they are gaining percentiles every single scan now and getting bigger and bigger and looking like they're probably going to be bigger than Hunter was, because on Wednesday when they did an ultrasound while I was in hospital, they were measuring at 2,346 grams or 2.34 kilos, and that's quite big for this gestation. Like I said, 70th percentile, so if you have 100 babies in the room, then that baby is number 70 in size. So 100 obviously being the biggest. Baby's heart rate is all good. There's no issues with blood flow, no issues with my placenta. So everything's looking good. Baby's still head down, and my cervix is still closed. There's no issues with that. It's still long, so there's no reason for them to believe that baby is going to come right now. But obviously with what's happened with my irritable uterus, I am at risk of going into early labor if I trigger that too many times. So like I said, if you haven't heard all about that, I'm not going to repeat it in this video. You can check out the other video to find out what's happening there. But other symptoms that I'm having this week, aside from an irritable uterus and contractions, is leg cramps. I had some stockings that were put on me in hospital, which were for the pure fact that I was in bed and not walking around much, to stop blood clotting. And I ended up having to rip them off after a couple of days because I could not sleep. I was getting leg cramps from them and they were just too tight. So that was really painful. I have noticed that I've been getting a lot of neck and shoulder pain, and whenever I lay down on my pillow, it just doesn't quite feel comfortable. For some reason, I don't know, my pillow feels completely wrong at the moment, so I need to do something about that, because it is definitely making things difficult through the day, having a sore neck and shoulder. I almost feel like my chronic fatigue is back, and it's purely just because getting these contractions is taking the energy out of me. Aside from whether I'm sleeping enough or not, I am getting physically exhausted just from the contractions, to the point where, for any of you who have already given birth or maybe had a major surgery, you'll know that feeling where your body just physically aches, but also you just don't feel like there's any energy in your limbs to even move your arms or anything. It feels like every single little movement is too much effort, and that's exactly how I've been feeling since having these contractions so painfully. Getting one now, but thankfully I can still talk through them. Dizziness. Sorry guys. Dizziness is definitely another thing that I've been feeling, and I guess that comes along with the exhaustion. My rib cage has been sore. A lot of that has been from the contractions as well, and the compression that it's putting and the force that it's putting on them. And my final other symptom that I'm having is headaches. I've had so many headaches throughout this week and felt awful, and I don't know if it's the fact that I had some pain relief at one point. The combination of having headaches and pure exhaustion is just not the best feeling in the world when you're trying to chase after a toddler. Every week I tell you guys about whatever I have purchased that week for baby. This week I have not got out of the house aside from going to the hospital and to go and get things like baby wipes for Hunter and bread. So I haven't actually bought anything for baby this week, but I'm sure that there'll be something in future weeks that I buy them. My weight, I am now 49.7 kilos and I started at 39 kilos. So I am almost at an 11 kilo gain now. Not sure what that is in pounds for those of you who are overseas, but for someone who does not gain much generally, that is pretty awesome for pregnancy. It is not quite what I gained with my son because I gained somewhere between 15 and 18 kilos. But in saying that, I was taking supplements when I was pregnant with him. I did notice this week that I had a blood pressure increase. Usually I have significantly low blood pressure, and this week it was in what most people would consider a normal range, but for me it was high, and that felt absolutely awful. But I think that that came down to the stress of what was happening in hospital, and also my contractions were just making me feel absolutely awful. So that was something that changed this week, and hopefully when they recheck me again on Tuesday, it is back to my normal. Even though low blood pressure is not the best, I just feel so much better when I'm in my normal range. So my iron is currently really low. With my son, I became anemic and the tablets do not work for me. So I'm going for another blood test in a week, and then from there they will see if I need to have an iron infusion or not. Each week I usually use the Ovia app to tell you how big baby should be, but now that they have reached so far into the 3rd trimester, it actually varies far too much between babies for them to give you an accurate measurement of how long and how much they should weigh. Like I said, they use the percentiles at this point as to whether your baby is just on the smaller side or the larger side, but they obviously have a range of weights that are healthy. And so I've already told you guys how much my baby is currently weighing. If you have had a scan, let me know below how much your baby weighs. I'd love to know. But at this point, they're getting so close to birth that it just varies far too much. And I am probably predicting that my current baby is going to be somewhere between 7 and 8 pounds like my son was, because I do think that they're going to be slightly bigger than Hunter. Every week I show you where the hand and foot size is up to though, which is pretty well standard no matter how big or small your baby is. So for 33 weeks, this is how big the hand is, and this is how big the foot is. So we are so incredibly close now, and we may not even reach that full amount if they're born early, obviously, because like I've said to you guys in previous videos, I'll be having this baby by 39 weeks, whether I go for an induction or a C-section. I will probably have a better indication of that this coming week. They were talking to me last week that if I went into early labour, I'd be fine for an induction at this point, but obviously it's going to depend on how much bigger baby gets the closer we get to due date. So waiting out for that last final growth scan to find out just how big baby is before we can make a date and decide on the 2 different options. So before I wrap up this video, I'm going to show you guys where my belly is up to for 33 weeks. So excuse the fact that I'm in my PJs, but this is where I'm up to for 33 weeks. I still don't have any new stretch marks. I don't have the line down the center of my belly. All of those things that I experienced with my son, I just don't seem to have this time. It's so interesting to me that 2 pregnancies can be so completely different, but also similar at the same time. Cravings, I don't really have anything too much to update you guys on this week, because it's the same as always. You guys know that lately all I've been craving is things that are chicken or sushi in general, so nothing new there. Otherwise, that's about it for this week, aside from my contractions that keep going off, which are definitely not Braxton Hicks. They have confirmed those and checked on CCG monitors and all of that. That's pretty well it for this week's update. I am going to have an appointment on Tuesday with the doctors to make a plan as to what's happening, and I'm not too sure what they're going to do, but obviously we need to put a plan in place if I'm still getting these and they're not quite settling down enough. So if you guys would like to hear about what they have decided with that, then make sure you keep an eye on my channel and subscribe down below. It's completely free. Just click the red button and the bell next to it, and it will let you know every time I upload Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and any other bonus videos. If you haven't already checked out that video as to why I was in hospital, I'm going to leave the two links down below of why I was in hospital and how they're managing it currently. Obviously, if there's any dramatic changes, I will update you guys about Tuesday's appointment before next Monday, but if it's nothing major, I'll just let you guys know in my normal weekly update like usual. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys do stick around to check out more of my channel. I post videos every single week on pregnancy, babies, toddlers, motherhood, the lot, and I hope to see you in the next video.